Hello, this is Emily Nallen with Region 17, and today we are going to be looking at some data views. It is custom for administrators to be able to create data views for teachers to be able to see. So I'm going to walk you through setting up a template that you can share with your teachers. The first one that we're going to look at today is the learning standards less than 50%. So that's the one we will start with. Whenever you begin creating a data view, I always start in the bottom left-hand corner in Aware with create a new data view. Of course, you can drill down to see a data view as well, but we're going to start from scratch. So click on create a new data view and it takes you through a wizard, so we'll go ahead and do next. And right here we're going to select the test. Now what's important to remember about this is if you are setting the actual view as a template for teachers to see, it does not matter which test you pick. So it really does not matter as long as you pick one that is not a release test, not a retake, anything like that, as long as you pick a traditional test. So I'm going to go with the, let's go with the 5th grade reading March. Okay, and you find whatever year it is that you want to grab. It's better to grab the most recent year, as it's going to pull in the data fields that reply and go with that actual year. So I'm going to go next. I only used one, and for this particular data view, our Aware template recipe card says that we should set this at the individual student level. Okay, so I'm going to click on individual student. Okay, this one's always important to ask yourself, who is going to be viewing this data? Is it going to be administrators, which always need to see for accountability purposes where the students were, or is it going to be teachers, which their default view is where students are now? Since we want teachers to be looking at this learning standard view, we're going to go with where students are now. Okay, next it asks me what columns do I want to view, so what type of information do I want to see here. Really for this one we really have to customize it, so I'm actually not going to click any one of these. I'm just going to go ahead and click next. And then would you like to summarize by ethnicity, gender, special ed? If you want this type of information you can, but like I always say, for teachers less information is more. So I'm going to go ahead and do next in the bottom right hand corner. And then ask me, you're done. Would you like to edit this view before seeing the results? And yes, I would. So I click that button and in the bottom right hand corner, view my report. Now it takes me to the editing screen. So the first thing that you want to do as a good rule of thumb is name your data view where it says untitled view. So I'm going to call it learning standards less than 50%. Okay. So I still have under my tables tab, which I always refer to, you should just rename that in your brain as test tab. I can pull in additional pieces of information, but for this data view I really don't need to. So I'm good here. I'm going to go ahead and go to the columns tab. And what I have is raw score and percent score. If I look at my recipe card, I don't need either one of these. So in the bottom, I'm going to click clear down here. I don't need either one of those. The first thing that I need is the learning standard percent correct. Okay, so I can assume that that's in the learning standard folder. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. Learning standard percent correct. Learning standard percent correct. So I'm going to click it, I'm going to drag it, and I'm going to drop it. Check. Then it also tells me that I need to filter this particular piece by less than 50%. Okay, so when I want to add a filter, I go all the way to the bottom, add a filter. So here's my options: equals, doesn't equal, greater than, less than. As you know by the name of the data view, we're going to go with less than. We're going to type in 50. Do not type in a percent sign here, as it will just confuse the system. All you need is your number. and as a good rule of thumb, I click back on my data field to make sure that it's saved, and it did. So check. I have the first piece done. The next one is learning standard number. Okay, same folder. Learning standard number. Okay, drag and drop. And then the final piece is learning standard number total. Learning standard number total. Perfect. So I have all three of the pieces that it told me to do. Right now it says don't add anything under summarize. Okay, so we're good to go there. So now I'm not going to click save, even though that looks like that should be your next step. You're going to click update in the bottom right hand corner. It's going to think for a little bit as it's rendering the data view. And there we go. Okay, so I already know that I did an oopsie because on this data view, it doesn't look like this. This is one of those data views that we like to toggle to the side. So I'm going to do a compare cross test. There it is. This is the data view that I actually want. And so I know it's correct because I have my kiddos' names. I have the learning standard information beneath them. If they got less than 50%, which all of these numbers are less than 50%, so I did it right. And like I say, the longer the bar graph, the more help or support that they actually need. So this is a great visual for teachers to be able to see identified students with the areas that they need support. So I am now going to click Save in the upper left-hand corner. It says your view has been saved. Yay. Sometimes I like to double check myself. The screen did flash. There it goes, which makes me feel better. But under my saved views, it should be the very last one. Boop, right there. So I know it's also here in the system, which makes me feel better. When I am ready to go ahead and say, yes, I want every teacher to be able to see this, then I go to the upper right-hand corner where it says Share. Now let's talk about your sharing preferences. If you are a district administrator, then you can say, I want to share this as a district view for all of my teachers, and I want to add it as a district quick view. This enables this data view to be in their drop-down menu for all teachers to be able to see and disaggregate data. If, however, I am a campus principal, then this option won't probably even let me click it. So I may want to say my campus views, my campus teachers, and my campus quick views, which will do all the same things, except it will show this information for the teachers at your campus, and it won't be shared out for the entire district, if that makes sense. After you click submit, it should recache. There it goes. And now I usually double check myself again. So you can click down to any data view. We use, what do we use? Reading, 5th grade. So let's do a 4th grade math, just to test the theory. So a 4th grade math teacher comes in. They go to their drop-down menu in the upper right-hand corner. There's learning standards less than 50%. Yay! Let's wait for it to populate, and there we go. So we have all of our information populated below for a math teacher, whereas we created the data view using reading. So you know that it's a template and applies itself to any data piece that the teacher is working on. Hopefully that was helpful. Have a good day.